Hello everyone, it's yours truly Tosin Akitoku back with another episode of Nollywood Movie Review. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I go any further, I must shout out to the beautiful location we're shooting from today. It's the Blowfish Hotel at Ojuolobun Street. Beautiful in terms of the ambience, customer service, location. I mean, look at it. It's awesome. So if you're ever in Lagos and you find yourself in VI, make sure you come in and pay them a visit. Okay, so now I've got that out of the way. Let's get the housekeeping sorted. Guys, make sure you turn on your notification button. That way you're getting our up-to-date videos as we upload them. Make sure you keep in touch with us on all our social media contacts. All those contacts will be showing while this YouTube video is being played. Make sure you send us a message, drop us an email, drop us a message. Tell us how you're loving the show. Do you love our reviews? Do you want us to review some other movies that maybe we haven't touched on? We'd love to hear your feedback. So make sure you keep those comments rolling in. Okay, thank you so much. Now we've got that out of the way, we're gonna start with the very first movie for this episode. Yes, the first movie we're going to talk about in this episode is a Yoruba movie titled ERELU. This movie was produced by Oladejo and it was directed by Titi JJ. It stars Faithia Williams and Oladejo and many, many more top-rated actors and actresses. I'm going to stop for a minute and have you watch a clip of this movie.
Award-winning actress Oladejo Oyinda in conjunction with Timex Films Holding combination to Shaprapra.
Èmi ò ṣe àwọn ṣẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ́rì bíi títí. Àwa ṣá pro. Bó ṣe wà yìí, a tún ṣàprapra. Olówó àbí? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, olówó. Ó yá, cross yẹ.
From the stable of Oyinda Films and Multimedia, featuring Taiwo Hassan Ogogo, Faithia Williams Balogun, Bimboshi, Kemi Korede, Oladejo Oyinda fúnra ẹ̀, Funketi, Lalude, and many more. Nínú latest movie tá a pè àkọlé ẹ̀ ní ERELU.
Ẹ̀yin ò ní wà. Bí o ṣe ní wà.
Gbásọ̀rì mọ̀dẹ̀mọ̀dẹ̀ kọjú sí ìrẹ́lá.
Guys, that was ERELU. ERELU is such a beautiful cultural movie. Now, this movie ticks all the boxes for us. In terms of production, I mean, I've been going on and on in my reviews about female producers. Not because, I'm being biased, but it's because the work that they're really churning out in terms of Yoruba movies in Nollywood is fantastic. The quality of the production is very good. The way they tell their stories is so captivating. And it actually makes sense. It's believable. So you follow the story from beginning to the end and you're actually learning. It's entertaining. It's educative. I mean, what more could you ask for? So Titi JJ directed this movie and we saw how she put attention to detail. Now, the summary of the film is really about a tussle for leadership. So we see these two women, which is quite unusual because sometimes when you talk about tussle for power or a struggle to get to a position of authority, you kind of see that kind of happening between male figures, but that's what I love about this movie. They talked about these two female figures trying to vie for the position in this palace. So one of them, Oyinda, and obviously Faithia, they will do whatever it takes to make sure they were the ones elected into the position within that palace.
Kábíyèsí, àwa kọjá ká máa lẹ́nu lọ torí ariwo kọ́ ni music. Èmi mọ̀yàn, mo lówó, mo lẹ́bi, mo lára. Ní àsìkò tèmi ẹ mọ̀ yàtọ̀ nílùú Ìkábíyèsí.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbajúmọ̀ àti olóyè ènìyàn tí Ọlọ́run dá èmi Fọlárẹ̀ra mọ̀ pé fún ìdàgbàsókè ìlú wa ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ERELU tuntun tó máa jẹ Kábíyèsí. Kò sí àrà tí àwa ò ní dá o. Agbajúmọ̀ àdèmọ̀yàn torí ètò ìlú yìí Kábíyèsí ẹ̀yin olóyè mi ó mú mi lọ́kàn gidi gan-an ni.
In terms of the storyline and the theme, it really worked well together. So there's so many themes you could pick up from this movie. How people would take desperate measures or, go through extreme measures to make sure they attain a position of authority or power. This film is not actually saying it's okay to do so. This film is actually putting a warning out there that if you go through diabolical means or evil means or the wrong means to get power, to get into a position of power or authority, there will be dire consequences at the end. And we saw that happen with Oyinda in the movie. We saw that at the end, there were actually disastrous consequences because of the actions she took whilst vying for that position. No, in terms of the way the setting and the costumes and the location depicted the theme, it was good. This movie, we could see that Titi Jeje, the director, paid attention to detail. Now, in terms of the plot, it was good. So when you start watching the film, you can't predict the plot. It's not really predictable in terms of the storyline and the plot. Now, the movie comes in parts 1 and 2, but trust me, you're going to be glued to the screen from beginning to the end, and you're not going to regret watching this movie. No, beautiful work produced by Oyinda, and I think we're going to be seeing many more movies from this lady. In terms of Titi Jeje's directing skills, awesome. All the actors and actresses in this movie brought out their A game. I mean, Faithia Williams, we love Faithia. She would put her all in any role she's interpreting or delivering. She doesn't, she doesn't really disappoint us. So she was, good as ever in terms of her role delivery. No, this is a good movie. So if you're looking for a nice cultural Yoruba movie to enjoy for the weekend or for the week or for the month, ERELU is a top-rated movie for this episode. It's available to watch on the YouTube channels as well. So it's easily accessible to our viewers and our audience. Our second top-rated movie for this episode is titled The Billionaires. Now, this movie stars Yul Educhie, it stars Osita Iheme, and it stars Chinedu Ikedieze. I'm going to stop for a minute and have you watch a clip of this movie.
You're supposed to be in the city serving your master.
I'm done serving him, but he told me that he doesn't have money to settle me. So I decided to come down to the village to help my father with his farm work.
Ikem, this is a check of 5 million naira. For now, it should be enough for you to start up a new life.
Hey!
Joy, go and tell Ezekweche that he is never going to be our king. That Ichie Chime is a rich man now. We don't need his evil-gotten money.
The Billionaires is hilarious. As ever, we enjoy watching Osita and Chinedu on-screen performances. They bring their comic element into the role, which is, sometimes their roles are quite serious, but I love the way they bring in the comic side to it, and we find ourselves laughing and giggling all through. No, this is a good movie. So, from the title of the movie, we can, in a way, tell what it's about. So, it's your usual get-rich-quick schemes, where people would go through extreme measures, money-making rituals, obtaining wealth via diabolical means. Well, I would say this is kind of a trademark for Yul Educhie, even though, yes, it does make other movies, but he tends to kind of make a lot of movies that portrays the effects of poverty. Now, I mean, the issue of poverty is real in the African society. reality. It's a real struggle for people to kind of, cope with their day-to-day expenses. And sometimes people, find that they're so desperate to get rich, they will go about it via diabolical means. Now, this is the reality. It's not, the movie is not saying that this is what happens all the time, but it says that sometimes people will find themselves in very difficult situations and they will take the wrong option. So they will go and make wrong decisions and make money via diabolical means. That was basically the gist of this movie.
Let me tell you in clear terms, you are a loser. My sons are back from Malaysia, with the national cake. They are with the national cake, not this local government chin that has the fortune have been given to you people. And even the so I now have more than enough to distribute to you lousy fellows.
We are here to see the great elders of this community. And also appreciate you. I want to use this opportunity to remind you that it is the turn of Chief Chime to be the king of this Abara kingdom. I don't want to say that. He must be king.
Lapu,
That's why we are here.
Malaysia money.
That's why we are
Malaysia.
here. That's why we are here. We are here to make sure that poverty will say goodbye from this community.
What I love about this movie, yes, it's a storyline that we've seen before. Perhaps, yes, we've watched quite a few films where it's about money-making rituals and about obtaining money via diabolical means. But what I love about this movie is the way they played the exchange between Yul Educhie and Osita and Chinedu. Those were spot on. I mean, you find yourself laughing, but you're actually following the storyline. There's serious issues being portrayed in those roles, but they do it in such a comical way that it made the movie really, really enjoyable. And also we saw the way when they were vying for political leadership within the town in where they were, and they were kind of using their wealth, their status and their riches to prove a point to each other in that movie. No, I love it. And as usual, Yul Educhie's movies, he doesn't just get involved in movies for the fun of getting involved in movies. He actually puts all his efforts in whatever role he's delivering. Another aspect of this movie that you guys will love is when they were portraying the affluence in terms of the wealth that these individuals had obtained in an ill-gotten fashion. Is diabolical means of obtaining wealth. But I love the fact that they didn't cut corners. We could actually see that they were in money. They had made money, so they used believable currency notes. So we were following the story, and we actually believe that these individuals were actually very wealthy in this movie. No, this is your usual cultural traditional movie from Yul Educhie and Osita and Chinedu with all the usual spices. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to thoroughly enjoy watching this film. So, The Billionaires is our second top-rated movie for this series. Make sure you check it out. If you want more information, you can check our social media contacts. We have the information of how you can access those movies. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. You've been awesome as ever. Love your comments. Keep them coming in. Make sure you stay in touch with us on all our social media contacts. And like I mentioned earlier, turn on that notification button and subscribe to our channel, please. Whatever you do with yourself for the rest of the day or the week, make sure you have fun and stay safe. Until next time, it's bye from me.